Filters for camera lenses. It sounds very technical when you're just starting out, but the more you film, the more you realize, oh, that's why my footage was looking basic, overexposed sometimes, and just like meh. Something which you thought wouldn't happen to you because you bought one of the best cameras that your favorite content creator suggested. So, in this video, I want to break down 3 of the main type of filters we use as content creators on our lenses. ND filter, a black mist filter, and a CPL filter. And then I'll show you or talk about this KNF filter which I just picked up, and it actually combines all of these 3 kind of filters in one. Whether it's a good thing or not, let's get to that later. But before that, let's talk about the first thing, which is ND filters. So you might have already heard, but ND filters are more like sunglasses for your camera. But especially shooting outside, you might have realized that why is your footage so overexposed and nothing's looking right? And let me quickly show you how it would look if the setting's not right. Like, look at this footage, look at that area which is obviously overexposed. And if I fix that, this is how it would look. So it basically cuts the extra light coming to your sensor, which means you would be able to shoot your video in the correct shutter speed, which will give you correct motion blur, as well as the right aperture or the brightest aperture. Like if the camera focuses on my hand, you can see the bokeh coming here. It is because I'm using ND filter, and that's why the footage isn't overexposed. And if you care about the motion blur looking natural, then definitely you would need a ND filter with the correct density rating. The next thing is black mist or pro mist filters. Okay, this I agree is more of a vibe thing. It's not everyone's taste, and not everyone appreciates the look that it creates. You know, in some videos or movies, how the highlights glow a little and you get a certain skin smoothing effect, and not the fake beauty filter way. It's probably a black mist filter. So what it does is it blooms the highlight, softens the contrast, and gives your footage a bit of a dreamy look around it. And you can even see that while you're using a light source like maybe your torch on your phone. See, it's not as sharp or as harsh. And this is the look that most of the content creators either do in post-production, or they use a black mist filter to get that cinematic and dreamy look. Well, some people use it for interviews or street photography, but for me, it's more to do with I want to get rid of that digital look, that extra sharp look, and this helps me do that. The next one is CPL filter. Well, this one, to be honest, is a bit more functional because this cuts out glare and reflections from your videos. So if you're shooting through a window or filming a car or even outdoors where the sky looks washed out, you rotate the CPL and suddenly you would notice that the reflections tone down and the sky looks more bluer. Everything feels more punchy and clean. But honestly, I didn't use it at first. But then I realized that if I want to shoot any sort of videos in my car, especially when my camera is outside the car, I would need a CPL filter. Just like what we have in our Polaroid glasses. Like if I'm using a Polaroid sunglasses, I would be able to see more clearly, especially when there's a lot of reflections in the area. Like for example, I'm visiting a beach or a city where there's a lot of buildings with a lot of glasses or mirrors. Then you need to kill off those reflections because it could be too bright for your camera as well as your footage. So in that case, CPL is amazing. So let's talk about the filter that I've got. So this is a KNF 3-in-1 filter which combines a ND filter, a CPL, as well as a black mist filter. So the black mist strength on this is quarter strength, which is called 1/4. So I would rather have it 1/8, but there's no option for me to get 1/8 strength in this particular filter. And the reason I picked it up is because it's a one-stop solution where you just screw on this filter and that's all you need. And you get this look where, as you might be able to see, the highlights behind me are nice and like gloomy, whereas it's not overexposed. I believe I'm looking fine, as well as decently exposed, and it's killing off reflections which would be coming from this glass otherwise. So as far as the first impression about this filter is concerned, it's pretty good, and it is a variable ND filter. So if I show you, I just rotate this knob, I'm able to control the light that's falling on my face, and which is pretty good because then you don't have to stack filters on top of each other to get the right look or right exposure. And the other thing is the convenience aspect of it, because I can keep this filter on my lens and just use it as a accessory that comes with the lens. And I'll come to the drawbacks later, but the look and feel of the filter is quite premium. Like, it doesn't come with any caps. You have to get a extra size cap, which luckily I had for this lens, so I didn't need to buy another one. But it comes in a decent case, which is quite premium in my opinion, as well as the filter doesn't feel cheap at all. And that brings me to the drawbacks now, because the quarter strength black mist on it is fixed, like it's fixed to the lens. Even if I don't want this dreamy look, I'm stuck with it unless I want to lose the motion blur or the CPL aspect of the filter. And the other thing is, like, if you're using CPL and other things too harshly, as well as stacking those filters, there's a bit of a color shift, which in this case, I'm fine with it. Like, it's not bothering me too much. And I believe it's one of the better filters I've used. Like, I've used these combination of filters in the past, but I was stacking one over another. And the color shift over there was way more than what I can see in this one, which is a good thing. So if you want to try the filters, then and you want to do a run and gun sort of thing, then I believe this filter is quite good, and you should give it a try if you want to have all these filters and don't want to go through the struggle of actually carrying all those filters separately along with trying different things. This one's like a one-stop shop for your filter needs. And especially given that it's variable ND, it would be fine for most of the scenarios. Although I find it that if it's too much bright light, I might have to bring the aperture down a bit just to compensate it, because it's just a 5-stop ND filter. It's not like a 10-stop or more. But for usual cases, it's more than enough. And the look that I'm getting from this, I don't mind it at all. I sort of prefer it. Before this filter, I actually never got around to using the filters, although I've had those filters for a while. They've just been sitting in my drawer because of the effort that it takes to, get all those filters, fix them on my camera when I need it. With this one, it can stay on the camera forever, or at least on this lens forever. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you've used filters before or if you think they're worth investing. There's another kind of filter which is called a UV filter, which is more like a protective lens cover, which personally I've used them on most of my lenses because I do have a little one in the family who sometimes get hold of my camera. Even my own fingerprints can be quite easily visible on the lens, although I've learned not to hold the camera like this, but you cannot control anyone else who's picking up your camera. So hence I've been using UVs for a while now. I don't get too much color shift or anything negative from them. But if you get a filter like this, which is multi-purpose, it's still protecting the lens. I think it's a win-win. I've actually got another filter coming for my other lens, which is a 67mm. And for that one, I'm getting 1/8 strength of black mist, along with a separate CPL and VND filter. So let's see how they compare, because that would be like stacking 2 filters, not 3, but 2. With this one, it's just a one filter thing. And I think it's doing good enough job. What do you think?